So one of the big things you have up there is you have Jordan Love, the quarterback out of Utah State, going 6 to the Chargers. Now, I have to ask, is this because you believe this is what will happen, or are you just making sure you try and win the bet with Mel Kiper Jr. that Jordan Love goes ahead of Justin Herbert?
I am making sure I win that bet.
I love it.
Because a team would actually draft a player off of what I put in a mock draft. Right?
Yes, happens all the time.
Right, exactly. I think he's a better quarterback than Justin Herbert. I do. And if you go back and watch the tape, like tomorrow, if we had to win a game, Herbert's more ready. Jordan Love, if you study his 2018 tape when he had 9 starters that were gone from this past year, with his coaching staff gone, he was the better player. And he's sudden. He's instinctive. He can change arm angles. He can get off platform and make all these different throws that a lot of guys can't. And I think it's so important in today's NFL that you can move inside the pocket and extend plays. And Herbert, even though he can take off and run, and once he gets going, he's got wheels.
Right.
He's big. He's strong. He's got a strong arm. He's got all those things. I think Herbert is more of a second, third-round quarterback compared to Love. To me, is the third best quarterback. When you talk Joe Burrow from LSU, Tua Tagovailoa, if his medical is straight, then right after that, Jordan Love. He may not go 6, but Carolina needs a quarterback.
Oh, there's so many quarterback-needy teams.
The Colts at 13 could, 14 Tampa
Bucks,
Bay. Yeah, exactly.
So along those lines, what's the worry of, you're going to look at the interceptions, 20 touchdowns
17.
and 17 interceptions. I know the year before that, he had 32 touchdowns and just 6 interceptions. Now, that may be the difference of those starters, you say, but still, that's 17 interceptions is not a good look.
He was forcing the issue. There's no question.
What do you have, 9 different players on offense as opposed to the year before?
Yeah, he lost 9 starters from 2018, and then they played LSU the second or third game of the year, and you could see it. He lost some confidence. He was trying to carry his team in a system that he wasn't totally comfortable in, and I'm not making excuses for him.
Sure.
I'm really not. Most people I talk to in the league like him over Justin Herbert, and I agree, but you have to go back and you got to study that 2018 tape.
All right, Todd McShay with us. The other thing here is you've said this, and you can't do this, but in a vacuum, if there were no injury concerns for Tua Tagovailoa, you would have him rated higher than Joe Burrow.
If I was the Bengals and you promised me 10 years of health, I would take Tua Tagovailoa over Burrow. But
okay, so
you're not getting that promise.
Right, but we do believe that it's on track for Joe Burrow to go number 1 to Cincinnati.
Yes.
Okay, so that means would Washington, as Mel alluded to, and based on what you feel, do you think, A, they would or they should go for Tua instead of Chase Young?
I do not think they will. I would be shocked if they take Tua at 2. If I was running that organization, I would take Tua at 2. I would take him because I get an upgrade over my current quarterback situation. And I think there's no other position, maybe in sports, but certainly in football, that can mask all of these other blemishes that you have on your roster.
See Super Bowl.
Like the quarterback.
Yeah.
So if you can upgrade it, why wouldn't you? Even though, yes, I want Chase Young. Of course I do. I love a great pass rusher. Who doesn't? But if I can get an upgrade at quarterback, I would do it. But I honestly don't think the Redskins will. I think Daniel Snyder is committed to Haskins, and I think the organization is committed to taking Chase Young, the Ohio State defensive end, at number 2.
Completely agree. I don't think Snyder will admit. If they feel there was a mistake, he would admit they made a mistake.
Yes.
As some people think they do. I think they hang on to Haskins as well, and Tua then goes to wherever he's going to go next.
It gets interesting at 3 and 4, though.
Was going to say, well, I guess my thought on that, Todd, we were talking about this earlier.
I struggled with it. I'll be totally honest.
I don't know why, if I'm Detroit, I would take Tua. I mean, Stafford is just 32. He's coming off a back surgery. I get it. But Tua's coming off 3 surgeries, so it's not like you're getting a younger version of a hurt player. So I don't know if I'm making that move, and we're seeing quarterbacks with the ability to play to 35, 40 years old.
Right. I'm making sure that everyone in the league knows that I might take Tua, though.
Well, exactly.
So
I agree with that.
So that you get a deal to move
value
back.
of the pick.
Yeah, Miami's got 6 picks in the top 70, 3 in the first round. So
make them use them.
Make them use them.
And Oakland has 2, right?
Oakland has 2. Yep. So they could move up. There are and then you can always use next year's first and second. So if you
not if you're the Rams. They've been promised those till 2030.
That's a fact.
they have given those away like Pez.
But the Lions and the Giants right there, 3 and 4. That's where it gets really, really interesting, in my opinion.
Okay, so the other thing that is there's 3 positions that really dominate this first round: quarterbacks, 4 offensive linemen, and 7.
I know.
7 wide receivers going in the first round. Why do you think, when it's all said and done, Jerry Jeudy, you have him at 12 to the Jets, would be the first one off the board?
It's the best route runner I've evaluated in 20 years of doing this, Trey.
Ever. Better than
he's like Marvin
Julio
Harrison
Jones,
type.
better than
Marvin.
Megatron.
Marvin was in the league before I started doing this.
Yeah.
If you watch him, his ability to set up defenders, leverage his stem, which is like the beginning part of his route, his fluidity and ability to get in and out of his breaks is so special. It's fun. Like when you watch his tape, it is fun to watch. Then there's Ruggs, who's running a 4.27 on the from the slot or on the outside, and then Jalen Waddle,
doesn't drop balls.
Yeah, one drop pass the entire year from Ruggs, and then and he's the guy in that room too, which is a room that has 4 receivers that are going to get drafted in the first and second round in these next 2 drafts.
Explain what you mean, because we were talking about this before you went on the air. When you say he's the guy in that room,
he's the alpha dog, and there are 4 elite players at wide receiver in that room, but he is the captain of the group, if you will.
Right.
He's just he loves playing special teams. He'll go cover kicks. He'll do anything you want him to do. He'll block. But usually we think of 4.27 receivers as speed guys who are going to drop some passes.
Right.
Divas don't want to play special teams.
One-trick ponies, basically.
Exactly. He's the opposite.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content plus live streaming, make sure to subscribe to ESPN Player.